All right, so I'm back. Continuing on with the statutes, the violations, the consequences. Um, we'll look at some verses that pertain directly to kingdom marriages, protecting the kingdom marriage. And then I'm going to show you some other verses that actually do pertain to kingdom marriage, but more indirectly. And you'll probably see why. You're like, huh? That doesn't make any sense. Why is that pertaining to kingdom marriage? Well, I will go into that. All right. So let's now look at Leviticus chapter 20, starting at verse 8. And it reads, "And you shall keep my statutes and do them. I am Yahweh, which sanctify you." Okay, sanctify. So sanctify means to make holy, to make set apart. So if we're going to be set apart, holy unto him, these are the things that we're going to do to make us set apart from the nations, set apart from other peoples. All right. Um, so let's listen, starting at verse 9. I mean, not 9, I'm sorry. That's about father and mother part. Verse 10. "And the man that commits adultery with another man's wife, even he that commits adultery with his neighbor's wife, and the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death." So what's the penalty of this particular sin? Committing adultery is death, right? The consequence is death. And let's say people right now who have divorced and remarried, not according to what Yah's word, even if people don't consider them as being adulterous, spiritually in the spiritual realm, they are, and their penalty will be spiritual death. They will not enter into the kingdom. So we have to take these things seriously, okay? Think about it this way. Yehoshua did not commit adultery towards Israel. Okay, when Yah, we'll go in those verses, when Yah essentially wrote a bill of divorcement to Judah, to Israel first, the northern kingdom, and then to the southern kingdom, he didn't go and seek another wife. He actually, let's just say for a season, let her be towed up by her lovers. And then once she realized that she was in the wrong, come back, which we have in the new covenant. See, Yah never, he might have divorced Israel, but his heart was always to have her return to him. And that's what the new covenant in Yehoshua is all about. I hope you get the depth of this kingdom marriage principle. He ain't interested in divorcing and remarrying. He divorced and he was waiting for his wife, okay, for Israel to get her act together. And now we're coming to that close, that the new covenant was made. Okay, the new bridal covenant was given forth and said, okay, the ones, Israel, if you want to return to me, here I am. Okay, come to me as a pure, spotless, blameless bride. He never is interested about remarrying some other nation, some other one. Okay, so this is the bigger picture. When we see these statutes regarding the kingdom marriage, it's a much beautiful, bigger picture. Because yes, Yah hates divorce, but when he did that, his goal wasn't to put her away forever. Okay, divorce is not to put a wife away forever. It's to get her to realize the consequences of her actions in hopes that she would correct herself and then come back again, okay? And then reconstitute that covenant as a new covenant, okay? A new bridal covenant, a new marital covenant. It's a beautiful picture. It's so beautiful. Hallelujah. I'm going to continue reading because I can go on a tangent with this. Anyway, I'm going to go to those scriptures later, so hopefully I won't forget, but I did touch base right now, okay, on that. So anyway, verse 11, "And the man that lies with his father's wife has uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them." Okay. And unfortunately, that's what happened to Reuben, and he repented, right? But it was done in secret. I think I'm not sure, the book of Jubilees. I think it's a book of Jubilees talked about that she was actually, oh no, it was the Testament. The Testament of Reuben. The Testament of Reuben lets you know that she was actually not alert when he did that. She was not alert. So yeah, that was, but Yah revealed that to Yaakov, that his son had done that. All right. So verse 11, I'm reading again. The man that lies with his father's wife has uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. If a man also lies with mankind as he lies with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Okay, so once again, spiritual death. Doesn't matter what people say in this world. When those men die or when those women die, eternal separation from Yah forever. I don't care if they proclaim the name of Yehoshua, as the churches are, the abominable harlot churches are doing today. Doesn't matter what they're doing. Yahweh, he's the same today, yesterday, and forever. Okay, he doesn't change. He's not a man that he should lie or change. Okay, so that's his nature, not people's nature. And if a man lies with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion. Their blood shall be upon them. All right. I'm sorry. That was actually verse 12. Okay. So I read verse 13 before I read verse 12. I apologize. So verse 12 says, and if a man lies with his father-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion. Their blood should be upon them. Now, verse 13 says, if a man also lies with mankind as he lies with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Verse 14, and if a man take a wife and her mother, it is wickedness. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you. Verse 15, if a man lies with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and you shall slay the beast. Verse 16, if a woman approaches unto any beast and lie down thereto, you shall kill the woman and the beast. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Okay? Remember, all these things defile the land. The land, the earth, responds to these sins. Okay? It's not just, oh, so and so can do what they want to do. It's the land is going to respond. The land is not going to be fruitful. The land is going to have earthquakes, tornadoes, freaky weather. All right? Mudslides, all kinds of things. The earth is going to respond. So if no one thinks that, oh, we can keep doing these things, just watch what the earth is going to do, right? We just read that in Leviticus chapter 18. And starting at verse 25 on that one. Okay. Verse 17. If a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she sees his nakedness, it is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. He has uncovered his sister's nakedness. He shall bear his iniquity. Okay? And if a man lies with a woman having her sickness and shall uncover her nakedness, he has discovered her fountain, and she has uncovered the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people. Okay, so it's referring to menstruation. Once again, this other verse, like I read in Leviticus chapter 18, it's referred to not lying down with a woman in her time, or with your wife, or a wife lying down, with her husband, and they're in the time of her menstruation. Big no-no. Verse 19, and you shall not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, that's the aunt, nor your father's sister, that's the other aunt. For he uncovers his near kin. They shall bear their iniquity. Verse 20. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, okay, that's the unrelated aunt, he has uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They shall bear their sin. They shall die childless. And if a man shall take his brother's wife, it is an unclean thing. He has uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless. Okay, we're not talking about if the brother dies and then the other brother marries the brother's wife, because you'll see that in Torah. You're talking about while the brother's still alive, okay? If that happens, it's an unclean. It says unclean thing, okay? It makes things dirty. He has uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless. Verse 22, and you shall therefore keep all my statutes, all my judgments, and do them, that the land which I bring you to dwell in spew you not out. Okay, so it doesn't convulse with earthquakes and stuff. That the land spew you not out. All right. Verse 23, and you shall not walk in the manner of nations, of the nations. You shall not walk in the manner, don't do the customs, the manner of the nation, which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things. I'll say it again. They committed all these things. Therefore, I abhorred them. Okay, abhorred means he hated them. I'm going to read that again. And you shall not walk in the manners of the nations, which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things. Therefore, I abhorred them. Okay, he did not like it. It's like, ugh. Verse 24. All right. But I have said unto you, you shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that flows with milk and honey. I am Yehovah, your Elohim, which has separated you from other people. Let me emphasize that again. He concludes with saying who he is. So people can recognize that he ain't like everybody else. I am Yehovah, your Elohim, which has separated you, okay, from other people. And then he concludes with this. You shall therefore put difference between clean beast and unclean, between unclean fowls and clean. And you shall not make your souls abominable by beast or by fowl or by any manner of living thing that creeps on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. So isn't it interesting that the moment he talks about all these sexual sins, he talks about food right after. He says, okay, because of these things, I'm going to tell you, you shall put a difference between what is a clean beast and what is an unclean beast. Isn't that interesting? Remember the Garden of Eden is all about sex and food, right? So here we see in Leviticus chapter 20, when he's trying to protect the kingdom marriage, he's mentioning the same thing. Isn't it interesting? Right after he's talking about all these things, these boundaries that would otherwise defile a kingdom marriage, he immediately goes into food. You should put a difference between the the clean beast and the unclean. Think about it. He goes into right into like don't eat the essentially don't eat the unclean animals because of these sexual sins. Don't eat the unclean animals. Might want to pray about the connection between that. It's very powerful, right? Isn't that powerful? And then he concludes it with this. And you shall be holy unto me. This is verse 26. You shall be holy unto me. For I, Yehovah, am holy. I have severed you from other people, that you should be mine. Just hear his heart in that. Like, can't you hear it? It's beautiful. Wow, that is beautiful. Okay? Like right after he gives all these parameters that would violate the marriage, the kingdom marriage, right? That will violate the kingdom marriage. Then he goes in to say, hey, you should put a difference between, because of this, because of these sexual sins, you should put a difference between clean beast and unclean. I know people go, that doesn't make any sense. There's a connection. Yes, this is the connection. Clean, eating clean and unclean is a connection regarding the kingdom marriage. Mm-hmm. Whether you think so or not. Isn't that powerful? And then he reminds you of this. He reminds you that you shall be holy unto me. So means set apart, kadosh. For I, Yahweh, am kadosh, holy. He's telling you who he is. He's saying he is holy. So he's like, because you're mine, I'm holy, therefore you're holy. You must be holy, because if you're going to be mine, if you're going to be my bride, if you're going to be married unto me, you're going to be, if I'm holy, my bride got to be holy. My bride's got to be set apart. All right. That's powerful. You shall be holy unto me, for I, Yahweh, am holy. I have severed you, meaning I cut these people. You ain't part of that anymore. You might have been, but you ain't anymore. You might have did that, done that, been there, but you ain't anymore. He severed that. He said, I have severed you from other people, that you should be mine. He's saying, you should be mine. Yehovah says, you're mine. You're mine. Have you ever that love that he has for you, that love that Yehoshua has for you? He's saying, you're mine. So therefore, you shall be holy, because I am holy. Kingdom marriage. This is what it's all about. Kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. Yahuwah Sivaot. And I actually had experience like that recently. He did say that to me. Ooh, boy, that was a lovely experience. Ooh, yeah. And he just kept saying to me, you are mine. You are mine. That was about like a week ago. Yes, you are mine. And if you're going to be his, you know what he's going to expect. Be kadosh. Be holy. And he wants they want these marriages to be kingdom marriages, which are holy marriages. Kingdom marriages are kadosh. You want to claim, oh, Yeshua, or Jesus. Be holy, because he says he is. You want to be his, then you be that, okay? Cain, that means yes in Hebrew. Cain means yes in Hebrew. Cain. All right. Woo! That was powerful. All right. Here's another one that might seem unrelated to the kingdom marriage, but it actually is. Like I said, there's a lot in Torah that's related to the kingdom marriage, and also relates to Yah's plan of saving us, of rescuing us from the hands of the enemy, okay? From that unholy union that was made with Satan, that Hawa made with Satan in the garden, rescuing us from that. These are some reminders, okay, that we have. Just briefly, let's turn to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 19, which is the next chapter before chapter 20. And it reads, you shall keep my statutes. You shall not let your cattle gender with a diverse kind. You shall not sow your field with mingled seed. Neither shall a garment mingled of linen and wool come upon you. Okay? So the mixing, no mixing. Okay, we got to understand, with Hawa and Adam and Hawa are made in the image of Yehovah. The angels are not made in the image of Yehovah. The angels are a different kind, right? They are a different kind. So when Satan essentially uncovered through the serpent, the beast, remember, a woman shall not lie down with the beast. That's yeah. I hope you got that part. When that happened in the garden, Okay, that was mixing with a diverse kind. Whether Hawa realized that was what was happening because she was deceived. She didn't realize that was happening, but that's what happened. Mixing with a diverse kind. So to remind us to not mix with diverse kinds, or not mix even our own animals or plants with diverse kinds, he tells us not to mix. Okay, to remind us what happened in the garden. Don't do what happened there. An angel and a human don't mix. No. Okay, you get all kinds of weird, freaky things. You get Nephilims, which when they die, they're pretty much demons. Okay, no mixing. You don't mix angel and human. You don't mix the image of Yah with something that doesn't even bear his image. Okay, Yehoshua bears his image. Okay, let's just keep that in mind. All right, that's why he came to. That's why he was the only one who could save us, because Adam and Hawa, bearing the image of Yehovah, were corrupted. So who else who bears the image of Yah, who was pure and holy, who could redeem us? He did, right? So Yehoshua came and redeemed us, right? Bought us back, and renewed, not only bought us back from what happened with Adam, but also suffered and bled to buy his bride back, okay? Israel back, to make a new covenant back with Israel, to be restored back to his bride. Y'all, it's so powerful. That's why kingdom marriages are just okay. We made a distinction between what is holy and unholy, clean and unclean from what we read. I hope you all are chewing this up. You're gonna need to chew more, because there is all right. Let us go into the difference between profane and profane, and what profane is. I wrote down Leviticus chapter 21, verse 7, and it reads, "You shall not take," this is to the Levitical priest, okay, the high priest. Okay, "you shall not take a wife that is a whore or profane. Neither shall you take a woman put away from her husband." Okay, that's even a divorced woman. "For he is kadosh unto his Elohim." So the Levitical priest, the high priest could not marry a whore, profane woman, or a divorced woman. Okay? Profane is pretty much someone who's not necessarily a whore, but she is promiscuous. She's traveled around a little bit. She sampled what that knowing is, right? Before she even made a covenant with any man. Okay, that's what profane means. Obviously, when I read through Leviticus 18 and 20, you heard me emphasize about that. Profane is the Hebrew word Strong's 249. I'm sorry, Strong's 2491. I'm sorry. Strong's 2491 is halal. Halal, which means pierced, polluted, wounded, stain. It means pierced, polluted. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can get a note card here. Pierced, polluted, wounded, stained. That's what it means. So, I'm going to write this down for you, so you can see what it looks like in the Hebrew. It's chet, lamed, lamed. Halal. Halal. Meaning pierced, polluted, wounded, stained. I'm just writing this down. I like to do this because I think it's edifying for you to actually see it versus me sometimes reading it. Because, like myself, I'm a visual person. I love to listen to messages, but also visually. Here. So that's what it means. Here's the Strong's. Okay. All right. I'm going to read from Leviticus chapter 22, verse 15. Here it reads, and they shall not profane the holy things of the children of Israel, which they offer unto Jehovah. Okay, once again, the other word is halal, which is a little quicker. Strong's 2490 means to wound, to dissolve, to play prostitute, to play the prostitute, to pollute, to slay. Not to stain, but to slain. Okay, to slain, to break. Okay, so let's look at, I thought it says to stain. It was to slain, pierce, slain, to slain. Okay, I corrected that. Sometimes my writing. Okay, let's look at Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 26. 22, verse 26. Turn there, and it reads, her priests have violated my Torah and have profaned my holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and profane. Neither have they shown difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Shabbats, and I am profaned among them. When I read that, man, I felt y'all's heart, the hurt. Man, when I first read this, when I was doing my study on this, I could feel his pain. It was just like someone crying, like, I am profaned. I am profaned. Profaned. Like he's crying out, like, look what you have done to me. Y'all, the priests, the pastors, right? The pastors, the teachers, the apostles, the prophets. You can call them all priests because priests have different functions. The scribes, some of the priests are scribes. Priests have different functions, okay? We are a royal priesthood, a holy nation. So priest is not just a pastor. Priest can be a teacher. A priest can be a prophet or apostle, okay? But he's saying that my priests have violated my Torah and have profaned my holy things, have polluted, okay? Have polluted, have dissolved, really, my holy things. They put no difference between the holy and profane, that which is polluted. Neither have they showed the difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Shabbats, and I am profaned among them. He said, I'm wounded. He said, I'm hurt. You hurt me. That's what it means in that case. He said, I'm profaned. You pierced my heart. You wounded me. And yet you don't even care. Oh, but so and so, we got to worry about everybody else's feelings. And yet y'all saying, I am profaned among them. You wounded my heart. You pierced me. Okay. So the Strong's 2455 reads, Chol. That's the word for profane in this case, where it says between the holy and profane, between the kadosh and the chol. Chol, which means exposed, meaning everybody can see it. Okay, chol. I'll show you here. Hopefully my notes. Right here. Chol, which means exposed. That means everybody can see it. You like, ain't no shame but a chicken wing. Go show your butt and your cleavage too, huh? Exposing the nakedness. Ain't no shame but a chicken wing, right? Profane, common. Making it common. Everybody can see it. Everybody see what's going on. Everybody knows. Everyone thinks it's okay. You can see it on the TV. You can see it on your laptop. You can see it on your smartphone. You can see it on billboard ads. You can see it in the shopping malls. You can see it in the grocery stores. common, exposed. Everybody sees it. Not holy anymore, not set apart, not hidden. Everybody sees it, right? Common is what it means. Exposed, whole. You know that there's that Egyptian makeup, that black lead like Egyptian makeup that Egyptians would put around their eyes. It's called whole. It's called the same thing. Exposed, profane, unholy. You know that because it's like it looks like a piece of black charcoal, and they put it around their eyes. Yeah, I did that in college. Didn't know any better. That was back in the day. I was like, what, 21 years ago? Yeah, it's called chol. I didn't know it meant profane. It means profane in Hebrew, y'all. Chol. Don't buy that chol, y'all. That eyeliner, the eyeliner stuff. It's called chol. It's called exposed. It's called profane. It's called unholy. Jeez, Louise Sassafras. Oh, y'all heard my statement. I love saying "Geez Louise Sassafras." I say that a lot. Okay. Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 23. Let's move to Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 23. Because if we're going to have kadosh, we're going to have kingdom marriages that are kadosh, they can't be profane and they can't be unclean. Okay, so this is why I'm going through all this. So you know the difference, because it's important for the single women, before you get into a covenant with a man of Yah, that should be a man of Yah, okay? Or for those who are married, who's wondering, why these things are happening in my marriage? Now you know, okay? Or why am I having these dreams? Or why am I being attacked? Or what? Hey, when we open the door to the enemy, because of our ignorance, he comes in like a flood and he don't care. So now you know. Ezekiel 44, verse 23 reads, and they shall teach my people, okay, talking about those priests, meaning the pastors, right? The apostles, the prophets, the teachers, and so forth, right? Fivefold ministries. They shall teach my people the difference between the holy and the profane, and cause them to discern, okay, to know the difference. That's what discern means, to know the difference between the unclean and the clean. Okay, that's why he has you practicing eating clean animals and not unclean animals. So you can remember that we must make a distinction. We must make a difference between what is clean and what is unclean. And he has us practice those things in our lives by the food you eat, right? Because when Hawa ate that fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil that the serpent pretty much fed to her, essentially, after he uncovered her, essentially, and fed that to her, then yeah, she ate that which was unholy, unclean before Yah. Okay, so this is why he's making a distinction, because the sex and the food are linked together. They are linked because of what happened in the garden. This is what caused the fall of Adam and Hawa, Adam and Eve. All right. And I did a list, obviously, when I was doing my study, of where I could find the same word profane in the Strong Concordance. You can do that too. I'm not gonna go read through all that, but it's just good where you see it's being profane is mentioned. Okay, here, here, and here. Okay. When we look at the word kadosh, kadosh really is from the Strong's 6944 and 6942, which means sacred, consecrated, dedicated, to be clean, to purify, to dedicate, to prepare, to keep, to consecrate. Okay. And Strong 6918 pretty much mentions about it being holy. Okay. Right there. Okay. So What's the consequence? What's the main consequence of not having kingdom marriages on the earth? The earth cries out. The earth goes mad crazy. The earth spews out its inhabitants. The earth says, I've had enough of this junk. And we wonder why we're having such weird weather, so many earthquakes, so much natural disasters. Is the earth crying out to Yah, saying, these people are so filthy and so defiled, I can't stand it anymore. This is why he wants to restore kingdom marriages, not just because of the earth, but to make things holy again. You know, you hear that make America great stuff, whatever. Make Yah's people holy again. Because it used to be that in America, it used to be that way. And we've lost that. We've lost the ancient ways, and he wants to restore that in us. Let's see. There were some other things I was going to mention, but I'm probably going to go to do a part 5 on those things, because that's going a little bit more detail. And you want to sit down and listen to this stuff. Oh, it's going to be amazing. All right. So until then, I'll see you. If I don't do the video today, I'll do the video tomorrow, Yah willing. And until that time, I'll see you then. Shalom, shalom, and shalom.